actually progressed your breast cancer?
So through all the pre-op screening, that's when I found out that I was in stage 4. But leading up to that, I had felt my body in a matter of, I'm not even joking, like 2 weeks, like deteriorating. I would be laying in bed and just all of a sudden I just couldn't sit up on my own. I was like, what is going on? And it was literally, it felt like it was overnight. I couldn't even go to the bathroom. Dean had to carry me everywhere. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't lie down. I couldn't do anything by myself without, his help. And so through the pre-op screening, they also told me that I was pregnant. And I wasn't expecting that. I didn't know I was pregnant, but apparently the type of cancer that I have is HER2 positive, and it feeds off of estrogen. So as my body was preparing for this pregnancy, my body was producing lots and lots of estrogen and feeding the cancer, which made it spread like wildfire. So, the unfortunate part of it was they told me, because you're pregnant, we can't administer chemotherapy on you. And so for us, we had to make a decision. The doctor told us, we can't start chemotherapy on you, but to be completely honest with you, you won't survive the pregnancy. But chances of you surviving the pregnancy are slim to none, and your baby surviving are slim to none.
So they did biopsy of both areas, and then they both came back as breast cancer. So then we kind of had our game plan. And
so when you had the face-to-face when they told you it was stage 4, and in that moment, what was your thought process? Like, what was going on when they were doing?
Well, it was my surgeon that was giving me the results, and of course, you're just like in shock, and so I felt kind of numb at first, like this is not possible because I've had breast cancer, but I know that as long as it's early stage, you'll be fine. But once it has spread, then that's a whole different ballgame. But luckily at City of Hope, they were really amazing. And she had already set up an appointment for me to meet with my oncologist immediately after I spoke to her. So she gave me the news and said, you're going to go meet with your oncologist right now. Just go to the next building. She's expecting you, and you're going to get your game plan going. And we're going to fight this with everything.
And so for us, we had to make the choice to abort the baby immediately. And then that's when they were able to finally start chemotherapy. So it was a process. Yeah.
And from you finding that out, how far into your pregnancy were you?
It was in the early stages still. I think they estimated about 5 weeks. Yeah.
But because that 5 weeks of all of your hormones were crazy, that's all that.
It's all it needed, and it's all it needed to take it. And it literally spread to my lungs, my liver, and it was like almost in every single bone of my spine, in my pelvis, in like all my ribs. So it was like literally like everywhere in my body.
So from now, what is your current diagnosis? Not diagnosis, but your treatments for your diagnosis. What are you currently doing?
So I went through chemotherapy, and my oncologist, Dr. Wiseman, he's super aggressive with treatment. So in the beginning, I was getting chemotherapy once a week for about 6 months. And then my body stopped responding to one of the drugs, and so they switched me to a different one, to two other chemotherapy drugs for another 3 cycles. So I was literally on chemotherapy for about 9 months.
That we have. So that gave me a lot of peace. I think just knowing like that I could meet with her right away and I could find out like what's going to happen. And just that they were on top of it and not having to wait, longer to find out what we're going to do with this. Because I think the waiting can be like the hardest part lots of times.
But it was reassuring to know like, all right, I found the news, but we're working now.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I saw on your Instagram recently that you just had your 6-year cancer.
9 years since my early stage diagnosis.
In 2013, I underwent chemotherapy all the way through February of 2014 when they said that I was officially in remission. And then in May, June of 2016, through one of my brain MRIs, we found another tumor that showed up here in the front part of my brain. So there's no drug that treats the brain. So as aggressive as my cancer was, and it's in my body, it still found its way up to my brain. But we found it at a pretty early stage. So we managed to undergo treatment again for this tumor. And after those treatments, it went away, and they were very impressed that there was no signs of it after that. So as of July of 2016, I officially went back into remission again.